Welcome back to the Artefactors Union. I'm your host and foreman, Douglas Scoundrels. Today we are assembling the Puppet Show box. Box is for the Neverborn faction, containing versatile models. Technically having the puppet keyword, but the puppet keyword does not have any particular master behind it. It does have a henchman or two. Anyways, the box contains 4 models. One Vasilisa, the nice babushka lady here, that is actually a puppet, and 3 wicked dolls, 2 of them being here on the front of the box. Here is our render, Vasilisa looking very grandmotherly, and the wicked dolls looking wicked. Alright, other renders, let's look at the sprues. Not a lot here, but I'm not complaining. Vasilisa having 8 bits to her name. And then the Wicked Dolls being like 5, 6, 7 bits, I think. So overall, I think this will go fairly quickly. Let's look at Vasilisa's instructions and then go over her sprue one more time. Okay, we will start like we always do and grab her body first. We'll go and do the feet after that, which will go here. And then in the front, this bit will go right here. I believe it's this left hand that'll connect to. And then on the back, we've got the backpack, a couple arms on the right, so those will go along here. This sleeve, which will go on the other side, right along here. The hand that attaches to the sleeve, and then when we're done with all that, we'll do the face, which is this bit. So let's grab this piece first, and then this piece. We have our body, now add the feet in the feet hole. And that went in just fine. Now let's go ahead and grab the hands holding the spool of thread, put them right in freaking focus, there we go. Put them right here. There we go. Once you get the wrists aligned, it should fit in there pretty intuitively. I didn't have much of an issue. Moving to the back. Backpack first. Yeah, it's possible that should have waited till another point in time, but we'll see. Next, we're going to do the 2 arms end piece of her robe, which will go on this side, and they're the ones holding the cane. Sorry. Okay, yeah, it'd be more easily done without the backpack. Recommend doing this before the backpack. In fact, let's do the other sleeve, the robe piece on this side. It'll probably also go in better without the backpack, but we'll see. That bit kind of just pops into place. I'm not sure the backpack really matters or not, but at this point I would recommend doing the backpack after these 2 bits. Let's do the hand that is over here and that's currently reaching into the bag. It should connect somewhere around there. Okay, there it is. You can see the elbow where it connects now, and I believe the thread it's pulling out is situated correctly on that. I apologize if it's not. It doesn't quite match the render, but sometimes these things don't match the render. It just looks like it more comfortably sits closer towards the body as opposed to on the very outside of the bag of thread spools. Okay, face time. Alright, face added, which is all done. Let's put her on a base. Vasilisa is completed. Not too easy of a model. Had a hard time with the bits on the sides for the arms, getting those popped into place, as well as the back left arm holding the spool of thread that's coming out of the bag on her side. Yeah, just a solid, moderate amount of difficulty. Nothing too intensely painful. Just gotta be careful and forceful. Let's look at the minions now. Our wicked dolls are labeled 1, 2, and 3, so everything to the side, to the left of this support is going to be our first wicked doll. We will grab the body and we'll do both the left arm and the right arm, followed by the front of the pin, the back of the pin that's going through his torso, the neck ruffle, and then the head. I guess it'd be good to show you the instructions as well. Here, the short little pudgy body. As far as the arms go, we can just sort of look at it like this. So this one will be the left arm, and this one over here will be the right arm. Let's do the left arm first. The connection point has this nice sort of right angle built into it that means you're not going to fiddle with it too much to get to sit in the right place. Same goes for our right arm, which we'll do next. You can see the nice ridge. There is the right arm. Now let's get going on the giant pin that's being shoved through his body. The head of the pin is going to be connecting there, and then the stabby part of the pin will be poking out of that hole there. Orientation on this is a bit weird. I just tried to sort of get it so it would align fairly well with where the stabby part of the pin is going to be popping out of his body. So dry fitting is very important, I think, though. We can focus. There's this notch here. It's fairly obvious. The only point of reference I can really use, and that's going to be pointing to the upper right. Or our upper right, anyways. Okay, let's do the stabby part of it now. This one was a little bit easier to figure out. I don't have a good point of reference for it, but there's just a thin blade shape to it that slots into that hole really correctly, only in one way. And then you just adjust both of them so they aligned more or less. So it looks like one whole straight piece of metal. Now let's do the neck ruffle. Well, silly me. That notch in the pin is what connects to the neck ruffle. I should have done the neck ruffle first. But now you know, do the neck ruffle, and then you can glue that notch in the pin head to the neck ruffle. I'll give you a better guide of how that pin's supposed to go in. Not too late for me, but let's add the head now. Look at this little guy, he's all done. Let's put him on a base. So small. Our first Wicked doll is done. We're going to call this one Melanin. The hardest part for it was figuring out the orientation of the pin, although that would have been a little bit easier if I did the neck ruffle first. But yeah, fiddling with that, getting it aligned was the major pain point of the Mini. And the arms weren't terribly easy either. This was kind of difficult. A lot of it also has to do with the fact that it is a teeny tiny little guy. But hopefully that's the only issue we have with these. We'll see. Let's move on. Wicked doll number 2 is going to be real quick. Grab the body, add the back of the head, then the mohawk on the back of the head, and the neck ruffle on the back of the neck. First the body, now the back of the head. Once that is cured, let's add the mohawk. The thicker part will be on top. And now the back of the neck ruffle. Okay, that was a mild pain in the butt, but I don't think you can do it before the back of the head. You just gotta use plenty of plastic cement and wiggle it until both edges meet up with the ruffle on the neck that's actually attached to the body. It looks good. Put him on a base. Our second Wicked doll is done. This one we're going to call it Takak. Hardest part was easily the ruffle on the back of the neck. Don't think there's any other way to go about it than what I did. Just gotta fiddle with it until it fits on both sides. Yeah, that was it. Out of like 4 bits, that was the hardest one. So easy enough to pick. Let's keep going. Order on our last Wicked doll. Grab the body. Let's do the stuffing and pinhead on the back of its head before anything else. Then we'll do the left arm / pin, the right arm, and then the pin that the right arm is holding. Okay, here's the body. Turn around and add that pinhead on the back. There's no real good way to explain the orientation on this. Just try and copy the way I have it. Keep in mind the pin that we just added the head for is the one that's coming out right at the left arm. So we'll go and do that bit next. I guess both ends of the pins are coming out on that bit, but the one where I was trying to reference is this one right here. So just try to keep it aligned with this guy if possible. Now let's do the right arm. Arm is in place. Now, last is the pin it's using as a cane. The thumb on this claw is a part of the cane, so use that as a point of reference. I would definitely attach it, or plastic cement it to the fingers as well, otherwise it's going to easily pop off. But this guy's all done. Let's put him on a base. Our last Wicked doll is done. We're going to call this one Resnick. Hardest part for this mini was getting the pin cane thing attached to the right hand and getting it to stick. Also, figuring out the orientation of the bit that goes in the back of the neck was a little awkward, but majority of the difficulty was that one pin. So surprisingly, more difficult. It's more difficulty than I was really expecting from this set of minis. All right, let's look at the whole box. The Puppet Show box is done, containing Vasilisa and 3 Wicked Dolls. I would say moderate level of difficulty, a solid 7 out of 10. A lot of that having to do with how tiny the dolls are, and these being fairly old 2nd edition minis. I'm sure if we had reprinted or made new Wicked Dolls, they'd be bigger, chunkier, with less fiddly bits. But they haven't yet, and they're certainly doable. Definitely not the worst thing out of 2nd edition. Just gotta be careful and wary of how tiny these things are. Vasilisa's no joke either, just with having to like forcefully push some bits into place. It'll take a little bit of work. Nothing you can't handle. I believe in you. That's all the advice I have for this box, so I am going to let you go. I have been your foreman, Douglas Scoundrels, helping you build a better Malifaux. They were a Goo Goo Dolls reference.